Here's 20 storylines to watch for during the 2025 NBA season. First up, let's go to Toronto. My question, which Raptor takes the next step? Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett. Quickly, two need to become a solidified stars for the Raptors to completely take the next step. Barnes is his fourth year. He does everything on the court. His defense, playmaking, scoring, all at a high level. The dude's built to lead a team. But RJ Barrett, he found his rhythm with the Raptors. He averaged almost 22 points a game and was a perfect fit for the Raptors system. He's got that hometown advantage, and I love how free he plays. Then there's Quickly. His shooting's dangerous, and he pairs perfectly with Barnes. IQ averaged 18.6 points and could be a long-term piece for Toronto. Plus, he's all in on staying with the team. That's big. Honestly, all three are primed for a breakout. Quickly's shooting, Barrett's aggression, and Barnes' leadership. It's a recipe for success. I'm betting on a massive summer of growth, especially for Barnes and Barrett. After that, we gotta go to Memphis. The Memphis Grizzlies are absolutely set to shock everyone this season. Sure, last year was rough, but don't count them out yet. Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane are still leading the way, and with a healthier roster, they're ready to reclaim their spot among the West's top teams. People seem to forget that this team was on a contending trajectory before things fell apart last season. But now, the Grizzlies have some serious upgrades. Marcus Smart is great, and the additions of Zach Edey and Gigi Jackson add depth. Plus, Aldama and Brandon Clark are ready to step up big time. Honestly, I think Memphis is one of the most dangerous teams in the league right now. They're young, hungry, and have the kind of talent that can compete with anyone. This team's core has already proven they can go toe-to-toe with any team in the league. The Grizzlies have the firepower, the defense, and the chemistry to make a deep playoff run. So, while other teams may be getting more attention, don't sleep on Memphis. This season, they're coming back with a vengeance and could shock the entire league. One thing that went under the radar this season, adding DeMar DeRozan to the Kings is a game changer. Sacramento already has a strong core with Fox and Sabonis, but DeRozan's mid-range game brings a new dynamic to this squad. He's a proven scorer, and pairing him with Fox in clutch moments gives the Kings a serious 1-2 punch when it matters most. DeRozan's experience is also going to be huge for this team. At 35, he's been through it all, and that veteran presence will help the Kings stay calm during high-pressure situations. He's the kind of player who can close out tough games. And with the Kings having struggled in tight moments last season, that's exactly what they need. Sure, he doesn't fix their defensive issues, but his scoring ability and leadership more than make up for it. Plus, he fits in seamlessly with the offensive firepower Sacramento already has. With Fox's speed and Sabonis dominating in the paint, DeRozan will thrive in the mid-range, keeping defenses off balance. This move also gives coach Mike Brown more flexibility. Whether it's crunch time or building a lead, DeRozan can take over. Sacramento's playoff hopes just got a serious boost with this addition, and honestly, they've got the potential to be one of the most dangerous teams in the West. Keep an eye out. This Kings team is ready to make a real run this season. Besides that, though, we can't forget about the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. The 2025 NBA draft is still months away, but Cooper Flag's potential has already sparked tanking talks. Several struggling teams may position themselves for a shot at the game-changing prospect. The Wizards are in desperate need of a franchise star. With Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma leading the charge, they are unlikely to compete seriously. Washington could easily finish with one of the worst records, making them strong contenders for the Flag sweepstakes. Also, after 2 consecutive seasons with the league's worst record, the Pistons might be ready to tank once again. With Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Jalen Duren showing promise, adding Flag could be the missing piece to finally turn things around in Detroit. They have the core, but still lack that generational talent to build a future around. Utah has a young, developing roster, but they're not built to contend yet. With the possibility of moving veterans like Jordan Clarkson, the Jazz might shift toward a full rebuild. By doing so, they could land themselves in prime position for Flag, setting the stage for a bright future in Salt Lake City. With Flag's star potential looming, teams are already considering moves that could make them worse now, but a whole lot better in the long run. Besides that though, I always wonder, could the Pacers repeat last season's success? Last season, the Pacers had one of the more memorable 47-win seasons, highlighted by their run to the in-season tournament title game and a deep playoff run to the Eastern Conference Finals. Tyrese Halliburton emerged as their All-NBA star, leading the league in assists and becoming an Olympian. The mid-season trade for Pascal Siakam bolstered the league's top-rated offense, helping Indiana pull off a Game 7 win over the Knicks in the playoffs. This summer, the Pacers focused on maintaining their core. They re-signed Siakam to a $189 million deal, ensuring their mid-season acquisition stayed long-term. Small extensions for Andrew Nembhard and Obi Toppin also showed their commitment to internal development rather than major roster changes. The spotlight this season will be on Benedict Mathurin, who's looking to bounce back from season-ending surgery. Mathurin, a former number 6 pick, has shown scoring potential and will be crucial as a third or fourth option. His growth could make Indiana's offense even more dangerous. So, can the Pacers repeat last year's success? Absolutely. With Halliburton, Pascal, Miles Turner, and a deep supporting cast, Indiana is a threat in the Eastern Conference. They could win 50 games and make another playoff push. However, their defense still needs improvement, and addressing that, perhaps by the trade deadline, will be key if they want to compete for a title. I do wonder though, is this the last chance for the Heat? The Miami Heat are facing what could be their last shot at true contention, and it all hinges on health. Last season, injuries derailed their run, with key players like Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero missing significant time. Only Bam and rookie Jaquez Jr. played more than 70 games, while Butler's knee injury kept him out of the playoffs. Duncan Robinson also struggled with a back injury, missing crucial games down the stretch. The Heat are banking on a healthy roster to make noise this season. Hero, who battled injuries last year, is crucial to their offense with his dynamic scoring and outside shooting. If he can stay healthy, Miami's attack will look a lot more dangerous. Jimmy Butler, now 35, is still the heart of the team, but questions about whether he can replicate his prime will be ever present. Luckily, Bam, fresh off an Olympic stint, is ready to take on more responsibility. His versatility on both ends of the floor makes him essential as Butler ages. This season could be the Heat's final chance to make a deep playoff run with this core. They've built a reputation for resilience, but without better luck in the health department, they may struggle to compete in an increasingly tough Eastern Conference. If they can stay healthy though, they'll be a team no one wants to face. Another questionable team besides the Heat though, the Warriors. With Curry signed through 2027, the Warriors are committed to contending, but they haven't found that elusive second star. Big changes could be coming soon. The clock is ticking on Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody's extensions. If the Warriors don't lock them in by the October 21st deadline, they could hit restricted free agency next summer. Will the Dubs pay up, or will this create tension in the locker room? Either way, don't be surprised if things get a little chaotic in the Bay Area. Next season could look radically different, with potentially 9 new faces surrounding Curry and Draymond Green. The Warriors are in a state of flux, and with 6 players entering contract years, expect plenty of roster shakeups. Looney and Gary Payton might be on the move as depth squeezes them out. Plus, the trade market for Andrew Wiggins is wide open. If his game bounces back, he could be headed elsewhere. Golden State's young guns, Kuminga, Moody, and Trace Jackson-Davis are likely trade bait as the Warriors hunt for a new star. Even offseason additions like Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson aren't guaranteed to stick around if they don't mesh. The Warriors' championship window is still open, but time is ticking. And with Curry and Green locked in, anything can happen. One thing I truly do believe though, Damian Lillard is ready for a massive comeback season. After an up-and-down 2024 campaign, Dame is more determined than ever to prove he's still one of the NBA's elite players. With a full year of experience in Milwaukee, the chemistry with Giannis and Middleton will be smoother than ever. His scoring dipped in early 2024, but Lillard found his rhythm after the All-Star break, lighting it up from beyond the arc. With another offseason to recover and sharpen his game, he'll be firing on all cylinders. Plus, With Doc Rivers, Lillard's leadership will shine even brighter as the Bucks aim for another deep playoff run. The Bucks roster is also stronger and more cohesive, giving Dame the support he needs to unleash his full potential. Milwaukee is aiming to be right back at the top of the Eastern Conference, and Lillard will be leading the charge with clutch shots and game-winning plays. Lillard's bounce-back season isn't just a hope, it's inevitable. I hope so, at least. Another thing I think, though, the Orlando Magic are primed to take the next step in 2025. After an impressive 2024 season, finishing with 47 wins, they've shown they can hang with the big boys. They even pushed the Cleveland Cavaliers to 7 games, giving them a serious run for their money. That's the kind of grit we love to see. This offseason, the Magic made a savvy move by signing veteran shooter KCP. Adding him boosts their starting lineup and adds some much-needed shooting. With stars like Paolo and Franz leading the charge, Orlando's future looks brighter than ever. The Magic are hungry for more. They've got the 4th youngest roster in the league, so there's room to grow and improve. The chemistry is already there with last season's starting lineup, which dominated opponents with a net rating of plus 12.5 points per 100 possessions. Mosley has done a phenomenal job establishing a winning culture, and his adjustments during the playoffs proved he knows how to coach a competitive team. With solid depth off the bench, I can't wait to see how the Magic unleash their full potential. The championship window may not be fully open yet, but it's definitely cracking. This is an exhilarating time to be a Magic fan, and I'm all in for the ride. Shout out to you, Magic fans. Besides that crazy question, could Jokic go for his 4th MVP? After securing his 3rd regular season Most Valuable Player award, it's definitely on the table. Jokic received an insane 79 out of 99 votes, highlighting his dominance this past season. He led the Denver Nuggets to a top 2 seed in the Western Conference for the 2nd year in a row. Historically, winning a 4th MVP would place Jokic among legends. Only a select few have achieved this milestone, including Kareem and Michael Jordan. His consistency is remarkable, having won MVP in 3 of the last 4 seasons, despite finishing second to Joel Embiid in 2023. Looking at his stats, Jokic had a phenomenal season, leading the Nuggets in multiple categories, while also contributing to the team's top 10 rankings in offense and defense. This kind of impact makes a strong case for a potential 4th MVP. His unique skill set, ability to elevate teammates, and basketball IQ are unmatched, making him a frontrunner for the award. Jokic's journey from a 2nd-round draft pick to a 3-time MVP is inspiring. He's carved his name into NBA history, and as he continues to improve, the possibility of claiming a 4th MVP is exciting. But after that, I want to talk about another team I'm excited about, the New Orleans Pelicans. Why will the Pelicans be good? The acquisition of Murray significantly boosts the New Orleans Pelicans' chances of competing in the Western Conference. With a core led by Zion Williamson and CJ McCollum, the roster features multiple all-star caliber players alongside a strong bench of consistent scorers. Murray's arrival enhances the team's playmaking and scoring capabilities. The trade, which sent Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance Jr., and future first-round picks to Atlanta, shows the Pelicans' intent to contend now. Murray is recognized as one of the league's top guards, known for his efficient scoring and high basketball IQ. His defensive skills remain solid, capable of matching up against the league's best. Despite a tough Western Conference and relative inexperience, the Pelicans aim for a top 6 finish and could avoid the play-in tournament. With young talents like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy contributing off the bench, New Orleans boasts a promising future. Jones is not only an efficient scorer, but also a strong defender, having been in Defensive Player of the Year discussions. Meanwhile, Murphy's ability to score nearly 15 points per game, while primarily coming off the bench, demonstrates the team's depth. While a championship appearance may be ambitious this season, the Pelicans' young and talented roster indicates they're on the rise. With the right development, they could soon become serious championship contenders. A serious question though, who will be the next star traded? The moment Damian Lillard requested his trade, I knew the Blazers might shake things up. Grant just signed a hefty 5-year, $160 million deal. But let's be honest, His contract isn't helping Portland's rebuild. They need to unload either him or Simons before training camp. And honestly, Grant's efficiency as a support scorer makes him attractive to win-now teams. Then there's Brandon Ingram. I know we just talked about the Pelicans, but Ingram may be the odd man out. The Pelicans are expected to explore his trade options aggressively. He's a former number 2 pick and a versatile all-star, but he needs a new contract soon. New Orleans has a decision to make, especially since they have Trey Murphy waiting in the wings. Simons is another hot name. He's putting up career numbers and would be a perfect fit for teams looking for scoring. The Blazers are ready to shake things up, and it's only a matter of time before these stars find new homes. After that, though, what's going on in Phoenix? I'm really worried about the Suns this season. Sure, they've got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, which is awesome, but there are some serious red flags. First off, last year's playoff sweep against the Timberwolves still stings. It's hard to shake that off, especially with Durant getting older. I mean, how much longer can we rely on him being the same dominant player? Then there's the whole role player situation. Tyus Jones, Mason Plumlee, and Morris all seem like solid pickups. But we've seen this story before. Last season, players like Eric Gordon and Bates Diop were supposed to shine. And look how that turned out. Gordon's gone, and Bates Diop didn't even last a full year. Just because these new guys look good on paper doesn't mean they'll deliver when it counts. And what about Bradley Beal? He's fine when he's on the court, but injuries are a big concern. He only played 53 games last season, and his health issues seem to pile up. We need him at his best to compete, but can we really bank on him? Let's not forget about the center rotation. Nurkic had a decent year, but can he stay healthy? The depth behind him is shaky. Expecting a 34-year-old Plumlee to hold down the fort is risky. If the Suns want to be true contenders, they really need to figure this out. But for the next one, I know we talked about it all summer, but Bronny and LeBron. But it really is awesome. LeBron James is absolutely thrilled about the chance to play alongside his son. Can you imagine? That's a monumental moment. LeBron's made it clear, though, there's no favoritism here. He's holding Bronny to the same standards as any other teammate. In an interview, LeBron said he wants to hold his son accountable just like he would anyone else. He emphasized that it's all about winning and getting better every day. I love that mentality. LeBron sees this as the greatest accomplishment of his career. He's done it all, but sharing the court with his son, that's on another level. He's been vocal about this dream for years, and it's finally happening. When the news broke, he celebrated on social media with a heartfelt post. Just pure pride. Now, while the spotlight will be on them, LeBron believes Bronny will grow as a player under his wing. He wants Bronny to reach his full potential and understands that it'll take hard work without any shortcuts. This is a thrilling time for the James family and basketball fans. Watching them together is going to be an unforgettable experience. Let's stay in LA for a second though. Kawhi Leonard and James Harden could be poised for a historic season, and I'm super excited about it. The team's recent 26-5 run showed us just how great they can be. With Harden having a full offseason to gel with the squad, he'll be ready to take charge as the main ball handler and orchestrate the offense. When everyone's clicking, this team has a chance to be fun. But let's be real, there are still some needs to address. The power forward situation has to be sorted out. They can't have an aging roster getting bullied by younger, more athletic teams. The Clippers need to get younger and bigger. A fresh, dynamic team is essential to compete for the championship. Also, the new arena is a game changer. That's a huge advantage. And can we talk about Kawhi? People underestimate him, but he's got one of the most lethal offensive games and can lock down any opposing star. I can't wait to see him decimate defenses this season. With a solid supporting cast and the right adjustments, I genuinely believe we're looking at a really fun season for the Clippers. But out in Philly, this year is make or break for the Philadelphia 76ers. After looking like absolute bosses in the East, their season took a hit when Joel Embiid was sidelined for 2 months with a meniscus injury. Even so, the Sixers managed to rack up 47 wins. When Embiid returned just in time for the playoffs, they ended up as the number 7 seed. But let's be honest, they were one player short of making a serious playoff run. The bright side, Maxey emerged as a co-star, averaging 25.9 points per game and making the All-Star team. He even snagged Most Improved Player honors. Coach Nick Nurse did a great job keeping the team competitive, but the Sixers fell short against other contenders, leaving the spotlight on their offseason. Morey finally had the cap space to bring in a significant player alongside Embiid, and guess what? Maxey stepped up as that second star. Now, It's all about finding that crucial third piece. George's surprising departure from the Clippers opens the door for him to be a difference maker on a title-hungry team. With the Celtics and Knicks looming as strong competition, this season feels pivotal. The Sixers have a solid starting five and potentially 3 All-Stars. It all hinges on Joel. Does he have another MVP-like run in him? They've got to capitalize on his prime in the next few years, and maybe this is the season it all clicks. I think on the other hand, Luka will prove last year wasn't a fluke. Even though the Dallas Mavericks fell short to the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, it shouldn't be viewed as a disappointment. The way this team rallied together after a frustrating previous season was incredible. They showed they could make a deep playoff run, and this offseason, they've only gotten better. Dallas focused on surrounding Luka and Irving with size and length last season, but this year, they've shifted gears. The Mavs also pulled off 2 significant trades this offseason. First, they sent Tim Hardaway to the Detroit Pistons for Quentin Grimes. Grimes adds excellent shooting at a much lower price. Then, they made NBA history with a 6-team deal, trading fan favorite Josh Green for none other than Klay Thompson. While Thompson had a down year, he's still one of the best shooters in NBA history. Now, defenses have to contend with Luka, Kyrie, and Thompson. If the Mavericks can avoid the offseason champion label and stay healthy, they're poised to repeat as Western Conference champions. With a solid starting lineup and deep bench, Dallas has made a strong case to win it all this season. After that, though, we have to look at the Knicks. The Knicks are stacked. Last year marked a turning point for the franchise, as they not only won 50 games, but also showcased their potential as true contenders. Jalen Brunson emerged as an all-NBA player, leading a talented squad that made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Despite a heartbreaking Game 7 loss to the Indiana Pacers, the optimism inside Madison Square Garden is electric. President Leon Rose didn't stop there. He knocked it out of the park by acquiring Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets. Sure, it cost 5 future first-round picks, but if it helps the Knicks contend for titles, it's worth it. Plus, Brunson signed a team-friendly 4-year extension worth $156 million, keeping the roster intact while allowing flexibility for future moves. The Knicks have come a long way from years of disappointment and bad management. It's time to embrace hope instead of heartbreak. With a solid core, a strong coach, and the addition of Bridges, New York has the potential to make a deep playoff run. This could be the year we finally see a parade down Broadway again. But also, majorly improving, the Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder are set to take a huge leap forward this season. After winning 57 games last year and securing the top seed in the Western Conference, OKC announced itself as a rising powerhouse in the NBA. Led by SGA, who averaged 30.1 points per game and was an MVP finalist, the Thunder have built one of the league's most promising young cores. Chet and Jalen Williams' improvement give the Thunder a trio of dangerous players, especially with the offseason addition of Hartenstein. Hartenstein brings toughness and rebounding, addressing one of OKC's biggest needs. The Thunder also made a savvy move in acquiring defensive-minded guard Alex Caruso, who brings perimeter defense and an improving 3-point shot to an already talented squad. This team is young, talented, and deep, with few weaknesses on both ends of the floor. SGA's continued rise into superstardom will be key, but the depth around him makes this team a legitimate threat. The Thunder have a real shot at making a deep playoff run and possibly reaching the NBA Finals this season. But lastly, I expect an even bigger season from Wemby. San Antonio Spurs fans have plenty to be excited about this season, especially with Wemby poised to take a significant step forward. His combination of size, skill, and unique versatility make him a matchup nightmare for opposing teams. This year, Wemby benefits from added team continuity, which is crucial for developing chemistry. The Spurs have built a solid foundation, and plus, they added Chris Paul, one of the best floor generals ever. This mentorship will accelerate Wemby's development, allowing him to learn valuable lessons that only come from playing in high-pressure situations. Wemby's commitment to improvement, combined with the continuity and experience surrounding him, will translate into even better performance on the court. He'll be more comfortable in his role, making quicker decisions and asserting himself offensively and defensively. As the Spurs aim for a playoff spot, I think Wemby could make a serious push for MVP in his second season. But yeah, those are my 20 things to watch this season. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Thanks. See you next video.